We're continuing with the story of the King's Ankh, or Ankus, from the Jungle Books. So Mowgli made it out of the cobra's cave because the cobra's venom had dried up. He took an Ankus with him. He was not sure what it was, had a big ruby at the end of it. Showed it to Bagheera. Bagheera goes, "Oh yeah, that's for smashing elephant skulls." And Mowgli is curious about this. But why do they thrust into the heads of elephants? To teach them man's law. Having neither claws nor teeth, men make these things, and worse. Always more blood when I come near, even to the things the man-pack have made, said Mowgli disgustedly. He was getting a little tired of the weight of the Ankus. If I had known this, I would not have taken it. First, it was Messua's blood on the thongs, and now it is Hati's. I will use it no more. Look, the Ankus flew sparkling and buried itself point down 30 yards away between the trees. So my hands are clean of death, said Mowgli, rubbing his palms on the fresh, moist earth. The Thu said death would follow. He is old and white and mad. White or black, or death or life, I am going to sleep, little brother. I cannot hunt all night and howl all day, as do some folk. Bagheera went off to a hunting lair he knew, about 2 miles off. Mowgli made an easy way for himself of a convenient tree, knotted 3 or 4 creepers together, and in less time than it takes to tell was swinging in a hammock 50 feet above ground. Though he had no positive objection to strong daylight, Mowgli followed the custom of his friends, and used it as little as he could. When he waked among the very loud-voiced people that lived in the trees, it was twilight once more, and he had been dreaming of the beautiful pebbles he had thrown away. At least I will look at the thing again, he said, and slid down a creeper to the earth. But Bagheera was before him. Mowgli could hear his snuffling in the half-light. "Where is the thorn-pointed thing?" cried Mowgli. "A man has taken it. Here is the trail." Now we shall see whether the Thu spoke truth. If the pointed thing is death, that man will die. Let us follow. "Kill fast," said Bagheera. "An empty stomach makes a careless eye. Men go very slowly, and the jungle is wet enough to hold the lightest mark." They killed as soon as they could, but it was nearly 3 hours before they finished their meat and drink and buckled down to the trail. The jungle people know that nothing makes up for being hurried over your meals. "Think you the pointed thing will turn in the man's hand and kill him?" Mowgli said. "The Thu said it was death." "We shall see when we find," said Bagheera, trotting with his head low. It is single foot. He meant that it was only one man. "And the weight of the thing has pressed his heel far into the ground." "Hi! This is as clear as summer lightning," Mowgli answered, and they fell into the quick, choppy trail trot, in and out through the checkers of the moonlight, following the marks of those 2 bare feet. Now he runs swiftly," said Mowgli. "The toes are spread apart." They went on over some wet ground. "Now why does he turn aside here?" "Wait," said Bagheera, and flung himself forward with one superb bound, as far as ever he could. The first thing to do when a trail ceases to explain itself is cast forward without leaving your own confusing footmarks on the ground. Bagheera turned as he landed and faced Mowgli, crying, "Here comes another trail to meet him. It is a smaller foot, this second trail, and the toes turn inward." Then Mowgli ran up and looked. "It is the foot of a Gond hunter," he said. "Look, here he dragged his bow in the grass. That is why the first trail turned aside so quickly. Big Foot hid from Little Foot." "That is true," said Bagheera. Now, lest by crossing each other's tracks we foul the signs, let each take one trail. I am Big Foot, little brother, and thou art Little Foot, the Gond." Bagheera leaped back to the original trail, leaving Mowgli stooping above the curious, narrow track of the wild little man in the woods. "Now," said Bagheera, moving step by step along the chain of footprints, "I, Bigfoot, turn aside here. Now I hide me behind a rock and stand still, not daring to shift my feet. Cry thy trail, little brother." "Now I, Littlefoot, come to the rock," said Mowgli, running up his trail. "Now I sit down under the rock, leaning upon my right hand and resting my bow between my toes. I wait long, for the mark of my feet is deep here. I also, said Bagheera, hidden behind the rock. I wait, resting the end of the thorn-pointed thing upon a stone. It slips, for here is a scratch upon the stone. Cry thy trail, little brother. 1, 2 twigs and a big branch are broken here, said Mowgli in an undertone. Now, how shall I cry that? Ah, it is plain now. I, Littlefoot, go away making noises and tramplings, so that Bigfoot may hear me. He moved away from the rock, pace by pace among the trees, his voice rising in the distance as he approached a little cascade. I go far away to where the noise of falling water covers my noise, and here I wait. Cry thy trail, Bagheera, Bigfoot. The panther had been casting in every direction to see how Bigfoot's trail led away from behind the rock. Then he gave tongue. I come from behind the rock upon my knees, dragging the thorn-pointed thing. Seeing no one, I run. I, Bigfoot, run swiftly. The trail is clear. Let each follow his own. I run. Bagheera swept on along the clearly marked trail, and Mowgli followed the steps of the Gond. For some time there was silence in the jungle. Where art thou, Littlefoot? Cried Bagheera. Mowgli's voice answered him not 5 yards to the right. Said the panther with a deep cough. The two run side by side, drawing nearer. They raced on in their half-mile, always keeping about the same distance, till Mowgli, whose head was not so close to the ground as Bagheera's, cried, They have met! Good hunting, look! Here stood Littlefoot with his knee on a rock, and yonder is Bigfoot indeed. Not 10 yards in front of them, stretched across a pile of broken rocks, lay the body of a villager of the district. A long, small-feather Gond arrow through his back and breast. Was the Thuu so old and so mad, little brother? Said Bagheera gently. Here is one death at least. Follow on. But where is the drinker of elephant's blood, the red-eyed thorn? Littlefoot has it perhaps. It is Singlefoot again. The single trail of a light man who had been running quickly and bearing a burden on his left shoulder held on a round, long, low spur of dried grass where each footfall seemed, to the sharp eyes of the trackers, marked in hot iron. Neither spoke till the trail ran up the ashes of a campfire hidden in a ravine. Again, said Bagheera, checking as though he had been turned into stone. The body of a little wizened Gond lay with its feet in the ashes. Bagheera looked inquiringly at Mowgli. That was done with a bamboo, said the boy after one glance. I have used such a thing among my buffaloes when I served in the man-pack. The father of cobras, I am sorrowful that I made a jest of him, knew the breed well, as I might have known. Said I, not that man. As I might have known, said I, not the men kill for idleness? Indeed, they killed for the sake of the red and blue stones, Bagheera answered. Remember, I was in the king's cages at Udaipur. 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks, said Mowgli, stooping over the ashes. 4 tracks of men with shod feet. They do not go quickly as Gonds. They do not go so quickly as Gonds. Now what evil had the little woodman done to them? See, they talked together, all 5, standing up before they killed him, Bagheera. Let us go back. My stomach is heavy on me, and yet it heaves up and down like an oriole's nest at the end of a branch. It is not good hunting to leave game afoot. Follow, said the panther. These 8 shod feet have not gone far. No more was said for fully an hour as they worked up the broad trail of the 4 men with shod feet. It was clear, hot daylight now, and Bagheera said, I smell smoke. Men are always ready to eat than to run, Mowgli answered, trotting in and out between the low scrub bushes of the new jungle. They were exploring. Bagheera, a little to his left, made an indescribable noise in his throat. Here is one that has done with feeding, said he. A tumbled bundle of gay-colored clothes lay under a bush, and round it was some split flour. That was done by bamboo again, said Mowgli. See, the white dust is what men eat. They have taken the kill from this one. He carried their food, and given him for a kill to chill the kite. It is the 3rd, said Bagheera. I will go with new big frogs to the father of cobras and feed him fat, said Mowgli to himself. The drinker of elephant's blood is death himself. But still I do not understand. Follow, said Bagheera. They had not gone half a mile further when they heard Ko, the crow, singing the death song at the top of a tamarisk under whose shade 3 men were lying. A half-dead fire smoked in the center of the circle. Under an iron plate which held a blackened and burned cake of unleavened bread, close to the fire and blazing in the sunshine, lay the ruby turquoise Ankus. The thing works quickly. All ends here, said Bagheera. How did these die, Mowgli? There is no mark on any. A jungle dweller gets to learn by experience as much as many doctors know of poisonous plants and berries. Mowgli sniffed the smoke that came up from the fire, broke off a morsel of the blackened bread, tasted it, and spat it out again. Apple of death, he coughed. The first must have made ready the food for these who killed him, having first killed the Gond. Good hunting indeed. The kills follow close, said Bagheera. Apples of death is what the jungles call thorn apple, or daharta, the readiest poison in all India. Now what, said the panther, must you and I kill each other for yonder red-eyed slayer? Can it speak? Said Mowgli in a whisper. Did I do it wrong when I threw it away? Between us two it can do no wrong, for we do not desire what men desire. If it be left here, it will assuredly continue to kill men one after another as fast as nuts fall in a high wind. I have no love to men, but even I would not have them die 6 in a night. What matter? They are only men. They killed one another and were well pleased, said Bagheera. That first little woodman hunted well. They are cubs nonetheless, and a cub will drown himself to bite the moon's light in the water. The fault was mine, said Mowgli, who spoke as though he knew all about everything. I will never again bring into the jungle strange things, not though they be beautiful as flowers. This, he handled the Ankus gingerly, goes back to the father of cobras, but first we must sleep, and we cannot sleep near these sleepers. Also we must bury him, lest he run away and kill another 6. Dig me a hole under the tree. But, little brother, said Bagheera, moving off to the spot, I tell thee it is no fault of the blood-drinker. The trouble is with the men. All one, said Mowgli. Dig the hole deep. When we wake, I will take him and carry him back. 2 nights later, as the white cobra sat mourning in the darkness of the vault, ashamed, robbed, and alone, the turquoise Ankus whirled through the hole in the wall and clashed on the floor of the golden coins. Father of cobras, said Mowgli. He was careful to keep the other side of the wall. Get thee a young and ripe one of thine own people to help thee guard the king's treasure, so that no man may come away alive any more. Aha, it returns then. I said the thing was death. How comes it that thou art still alive? The old cobra mumbled, twining lovingly round the Ankus haft. By the bull that brought me, I do not know. That thing is killed 6 times in a night. Let him go out no more. And that is the end.